Alright, hello everyone. My name is Disc. I'm a title healer from the War Within, and this is a 14 pit of Saron as Defense Oracle. So, not made a video in a couple days, just been too busy. But I wanted to put out two videos today. So this is my Oracle with tier. I also posted a Voidweaver with tier. Voidweaver did 52,000 DPS. This key, the Oracle, does about 20,000 DPS for comparison. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Check me out on Medify for WoW coaching. And I think I even have memberships and super thanks open on YouTube now. So throw the channel some love. And I did flash talents if anyone wants to see. This is a full defense build with the Aegis and Wheel and Woe. And controversially, I'm actually playing two talents into dot spread. And the reason I like that is because it gives us almost infinite shadow mims. Okay, PI's out. And all I really think about with this build is drop void shields when I get them, have quick reaction times for my shadow mins, playing uppies on the first pull, running Mind Blast for the output, played Death as I went up for the uppies there. And the only real problem with this build is how mana hungry we are. I'm noticing if I didn't have Shadow Meld to drink, I'd be having to ask the group to wait a lot, which isn't that great. I think that is an argument to play Oracle with Torments, just to kind of add to your mana economy a little bit better. But I think this is a very easy build. I think it's very approachable for beginners. And I think it's kind of easy in a good way. You know, if you just want to time the key, make sure the team gets IO, this will do it.
Only the strongest survive.
So that sucks, but this is an IO key. So I'm going to run as fast as I can. And always good to think, you know, what could I have done to prevent a death? And in that case, I don't think there was anything I could have done. It's the little guys. They have a spell you need to interrupt. Our fear does not do anything. So still using Platinator, trying to make a switch over to better Blizz plates, but it's just not in a good place just yet. But I have all my regular mobs, Shades of Red, kind of helping me guide who I want to attack. And then I have casters now standing out as pink. And I find what I'm doing a lot, and it could be a waste of mana, but as much as I can, you know, whenever I can spare a global, I'm just throwing an extra dot into the field. You know, a lot of people ask, like, what's our oh shit button? And I think it might be easy to say, like, uppies is our oh shit button. But I think Shadow Mend is our oh shit button. Especially if you have quick reflexes. It can top even a tank. Quick Dispel followed by Defensive Penance. And a lot of people ask about Penance. I think I've even had some comments say, what are you supposed to do with Penance? Isn't Penance supposed to be only defensive since the nerf? Things like that. I don't know where that comes from. It must be other content creators, but I think it's kind of instilling fear in people when you talk about WoW with such absolutes. I think penance is always situational. If you need group healing, you should penance an enemy. If you need single target healing, penance an ally. But we definitely want penance for dot spread. I think the higher the key, the more defensive penance you'll do. Maybe the longer a pull lasts, the more defensive penance you'll do. And I think I've noticed that a little bit, even in this key. I'll offensive penance as much as I can, you know, as a pull carries on. Things will get, you know, more dicey as they go. And towards the end of a pull is when I start giving more defensive penance. It's a great tank spell, defensive penance. I talked about it in the end of my last video, but if anyone knows me IRL, like my career, I'm filming another dance piece this week, so please say a prayer for me, keep me in your thoughts, send some good vibes on Monday night. God willing, it'll be worthwhile. Okay, we have PI. And this is a total pug again, but I think the call is focus kill gargoyles, so our skull is out. PI's out. And if you're ever picked with gargoyles, Shadow Mend works. If anyone knows, can you let me know? Does Phantasm work on gargoyle? Radiance into Evangelism. Not as powerful of a sequence as Voidweaver. Following mobs with dots for my penance. And you'll notice so far, I wish there was a way to tally it, but I'm really not casting too many defensive penance. They're almost all offensive. I think we see it better on the first boss. I think the first half I spend all my penance offensively, and in the second half when people are lower health, I start giving more defensively. I should be casting some penance here. Okay, I have a very healthy amount of dots. We should be good to go. I think as Oracle though, casting less dots might be better. Just probably casting one and then let penance do the rest. Or cast 2 or 3 maybe. Oh no, my target doesn't have a dot. I'm wasting all these penance. Cringe. That was probably over dotting there too. Okay. Let's kill dragon. We have PI. PI's out. We have evangelism. Always good to cast a Radiance before your Mind Blast. Pretty fair to call that a standard sequence. I'm not perfect at it yet. I think it's bound to happen to everybody. But I try never casting another penance if I have a Void Shield proc. Let's see, I think I'm about to meld. Watch my UI, I really love this. You can turn off extra elements when in combat only. I think it does a lot to kind of help you engage, to determine, you know, what in my UI, what else can I turn off when it matters in combat. So I turn off tooltips, I turn off chat, I turn off a lot of my details, I turn off extra bars. Helps you zone in. Okay, so this boss is a heal check. As Oracle on a 14, there really isn't too much to it. I play my Fade as much as I can just to help the taking damage. Playing Evangelism early is not a bad idea either. Just to get it rolling, you'll have multiples. Using LOS on people. And the only boss timer I'm tracking here is the Cryo Stomp. It is a group attack coming right here, so I'll use Desperate Prayer, I hope. Yep. Evangelism is played as a reaction. PI's out. So far all of my penance have been offensive. Let's see when I make that switch. Uppies this one. Oh yeah, so that's something I think important to talk about. I used uppies before the stomp just to top the group. I learned the hard way, you cannot uppies during this phase. Okay, paints up myself as my personal for the stomp. Quick dispel, giving love to the remaining dispel. Still all offensive. There's a defensive one. Okay, Desperate Prayer is back. Not a bad idea to play a flash heal for the 10%. Desperate Prayer, flash heal. Void shield before the slam. We also have Evangelism back. There it goes. Now we're in execute. That's pretty nice. Some free radiance here. Fade. Grip for fun. And really not a problem. So to anyone who's wondering, you know, what am I supposed to do with penance? It's subjective. Okay, let's see. See if I can learn something here. I don't know this guy too well. If anyone knows him better, please chime in. But this big guy, the Lich, he has a mechanic that triggers at 50% health. Is that what happens? Shot him and top that guy 100%. So it's really nice having a decurse in this dungeon. I would say if your group does not have a decurse, you should get at least one. It's also really nice if you have a warlock that can magic dispel. Those are hard to come by though. I think out of all the dungeons, this one is really good for an imp dispel. There's a lot of double magics. Okay, I think I'm probably setting up for a meld drink again, which I have as a macro. Getting a couple spells on cooldown first and watch the UI. I love that. Yeah, so pretty much every add-on out there has a feature to hide things in combat. I think that is really nice for a lot of elements on my screen. And if you are a meld player, you should definitely make a macro with meld and drink. Uh-oh. You can blame me for this one. I think the team wanted me to do it, but the gummies were just hitting way too hard. Alright, we have PI. Uppies is upcoming. And I think I play it here, which is arguably Greed. Any higher of a key level, I'd want it for boss. So this build with all the shields is very comfortable. You really don't have to do much except penance and shield. I'm pretty much only shielding if it's a void shield. Sometimes I might play a regular shield, but other than that, the main like thought process is how's my dot spread? How many shadow mins do I have ready to go? Am I playing ultimate penitence on cooldown? Evangelism for the fun of it. How's my mana? Okay, and then in this phase, I don't think I'm playing it too well here. I should be attacking an add. Wouldn't have hurt there either to play Evangelism. And it looks like I'm not tracking any boss timers. I think that one, the Plague Explosion, not a bad idea to turn that one on. I'm going to have to make a note to remember. If anyone didn't know, I've had a lot of new subscribers, but I'm a fire spinner, filming a new portfolio piece on Monday. It's a really big deal. I've not published any work in 4 years. I used to do one a year, but it's been 4, so lots riding on it. Okay, I was picked with that. Desperate Prayer, Shadow Mend. I was about to say nothing to worry about, but we had a death. And, you know, in these 14s, I still feel like I'm not I've not like super vetted out all of these mechanics. I definitely am the type player where I learn through practice. And in 14s, I think we're still in a range where missed mechanics or misunderstood mechanics still don't have a super huge impact. But yeah, I think when those totems come up, obviously kill the totems. Okay.
Don't kill me, please. I'll tell you everything. Worthless gnat. Death is all that awaits.
I forget if we do a double or not. I'm sure we do.
Do not think that I shall
Okay, Evangelism is upcoming. Let's mount to get through here.
Pursue me if you dare.
Should be penancing right now. I need to break that habit. Defensive penance just to help this transition. We have Evangelism. Damn, my penance is missing dots. Throw out a couple dots myself just to help with the coverage manually. PI's out. I also heard about the add-on Mini CC. Has anyone used that yet? But apparently buff tracking is back in the game. I'm sorry, cooldown tracking is back in the game. So I look forward to being able to feature that in my next videos. It'll really help pug environments to maximize your PI. But yeah, I've actually been playing Better Blizz Plates, if anyone's used that add-on. I think it's better. It just has a couple features that need to be worked out. Okay, so I put the focus on the Lich. I think that's the right play. We have PI. I'm sorry, we have uppies, I mean. Okay, so there's a single target attack. Could have melted that off, I'm sure. Shadowman's just a joke. It's so strong. I'm surprised it's so strong, to be honest. I'm sure it's going to get nerfed. But I think a lot of people would say in builds, you can only really allocate 1 point for dots. And I think a lot of people would put it in Painful Punishment. Oh, here's another meld drink. But I'm taking Painful Punishment and Encroaching Shadows. It kind of makes most of the dungeon a cakewalk. You just always have Shadowmans. And you don't have to work for it that hard. I really like my caster color change to pink. Also, when I can, I try to Radiance before I drop Void Shields. It'll have them land harder if you're atoned first. That's our mastery. I have about 20% mastery right now. I don't want that much. Working on it. Ooh. And replay that too by a couple seconds. I think it just... Well, it didn't have to happen. It was a miss. Yeah, definitely replay that. I think it's a good moment. I gave a Void Shield to the tank, who went ahead and pulled the mini-boss. He was too far away from the allies for more than one Void Shield to go out. It's something you have to think about. So the Void Shield is obviously 3 shields. Those 3 shields are not 40-yard range. So you need to kind of keep in the back of your head who you're casting Void Shield on, where you're going to miss out. And that happened there. I cast a Void Shield, it only hit the tank. Gosh, that was long-winded. But there's an Evangelism in there. This guy obviously does a pretty nasty channel that hurts the group. You want to watch for that channel and make sure you cover. Focused Guard. I really wish Bigwigs would still make audible cues on trash. Maybe they'll bring that back.
Heroes, to me.
7.5 minutes on the timer. We are totally comfortable. 21,000 damage per second. Less than half that of Voidweaver. Alright, so we have group damage on open, similar to the totem boss. Not a bad place to go ahead and roll your evangelism if you have it. Looks like I used a paint up there. So you can see the 2-target cleave ahead of time in party frames. Also leaves a dot behind that you need to take care of. And all I'm really tracking here as far as timers is the Army of the Dead. These 2-target cleave mechanics, my philosophy is if the spell itself has a telegraph, if you can see it represented on your party frames, you don't need to track its timer, its visual. You only track timers of things that are invisible timers. Okay, we have Evangelism and PI, Fat AMZ. Fade, so I'm not seen. PI is out. Okay, Evangelism at the end of it for comfort. Could have been a little bit of an overplay, but look at those shields. It's almost the full mage's health bar. Yeah, I think arguably saving for that that bone attack would be better. But at this level, it's a-okay. So flash heals. Next army in 20. There's really not too much to this. I'm finding I'm getting bored just watching. Okay, so I'm picked. Great place for a personal Desperate Prayer, Fade, personal shield, things like that. Okay, here comes army. I think I uppies this for style. Yep. Paints up for comfort. I would have given myself a personal void shield there, but I was too separated. We would have lost out on shields. And there we have it. So yeah, Oracle. This is defense Oracle. I think probably playing with Torments is going to be a stronger Oracle in a lot of scenarios just for the mana it's going to give you, the extra damage, the extra fun. This is a very safe build, very viable build. It really banks into our Apex talents, giving as much as we can to shields. All I do is Void Shield when it's up, regular shield if I feel like it, evangelism on damaging events, uppies on damaging events. Always kind of having in your back pocket, considering defensive penance, kind of knowing when to, when not to. And that's really about it. I think this is probably the most simple of the Oracle builds or disc builds. I probably won't be featuring this one too much just because I don't think there's much to talk about when you play it. I will probably be playing Oracle with Torments or Voidweaver. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Check me out on Medify for coaching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I think I have super thanks and memberships open on my YouTube now, so throw the channel some love if you learned something or like the channel, I guess. Stay tuned for future videos. I'll get back in rhythm. Started a new job. Been really busy with this dance piece. Stay tuned for some more UI updates. Hopefully next week I'll be able to share with you the dance piece itself. And until next time, Disc.